All right, so this Sunday night on the WWE Network, WWE will be presenting their 2016 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Of course, they've been hyping this pay-per-view up for a while now with the whole triple main event because they're doing not one, not two, but three Hell in a Cell matches this year. And I, like many others, feel like three Hell in a Cell matches is overkill. And if you guys already saw my video about whether or not I think the Hell in a Cell match has lost its luster, you know pretty much what I'm going to say about the three matches being overkill. So, as the title of this video states, this is my Hell in a Cell 2016 predictions. This is just like every other prediction video I've done before. But I'm going to do this a little differently, guys, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really not interested nor excited for Hell in a Cell this Sunday night on the WWE Network. It's simply because this pay-per-view has had very lackluster and at sometimes lazy build. You know, I've been saying this for a while now that I just have not been impressed with Raw as of late. You know, and if it wasn't for Goldberg coming back that one night, I wouldn't have watched that episode because that episode up to when Goldberg returned was just uneventful and boring. And it's a damn shame because there are I have a few favorite superstars on Monday Night Raw, and the only way I can watch them on is if I watch Monday Night Raw. But Monday Night Raw at 3 hours, and we've been saying this for many years, 3 hours is just overkill, you know? So with this Hell in a Cell prediction video, guys, I'm only really going to save my thoughts I'm only really going to give my thoughts, my extensive thoughts, extensive analysis, whatever you want to call it. I'm only going to dedicate that time to one match. The only match on this card that I'm very interested in, you know, that I'm invested in. Because every other, I'll be fair. I've said this many times before, every match on this card gets enough time, no screwy finishes, anything like that, then this show can be a good, very good, maybe even really good pay-per-view. Because there are matches on here that have the potential to deliver. But I'm just not invested in this card because I just don't like how this pay-per-view has been built, you know? And it's a reflection of where it's coming from, you know, the product, Raw. So in this prediction video, guys, I know in the past I've done like 20, 30, even 40-minute prediction videos, but this one, don't be surprised if I go under 20 minutes because I really don't have much else to say about anything on this card except one match, and that is the one match that I truly believe deserves to be inside Hell in a Cell, the one match that really should only have that stipulation, and that, of course, is the Women's Championship match between the champion Sasha Banks and the challenger Charlotte. I mean, this is a feud that dates back to NXT. Think about their history in NXT. They were partners together in the BFS with Summer Rae. Then the BFFs split up. Charlotte became NXT Women's Champion. Sasha became the boss. They had great matches on NXT. Pretty much every Charlotte versus Sasha match has been good to great. And it's only fitting that they have a Hell in a Cell match. I mean, if any match on this card is worthy of that stipulation, it's Sasha Banks and Charlotte. You know, this is huge. This is history in the making as they're the first two women to ever compete inside Hell in a Cell. And I know one little gripe, if I could say, that the Lex Man had about this match that he brought up in his predictions video was that all that was going behind it or into the build was the whole history in the making thing. Like, this was being given to them as a reward, whereas Stephanie McMahon should have been the one to say, we're going to give you this match. This is a chance for you to really make history, whereas Mick Foley could have opposed it based on his history in Hell in a Cell. And, like, I understand where the Lex Man's coming from. And, you know, I respect his opinion. I totally respect it. I'm looking forward to this match mainly because of the build. You know, Sasha and Charlotte have been feuding on the main roster for a little while now. I thought they had a great match at SummerSlam, despite how sloppy it got at times. And, yes, in the match, Charlotte had that one botched backbreaker where it looked like it almost killed Sasha, almost ended her career. And that's lit a fire under Sasha. You know, she hasn't forgotten it. Charlotte's been doing great as a heel. I just really feel like, guys, this one match is the main reason. This one match has had the best build of any match on the card. And this is the main reason why I'm watching Hell in a Cell, is to mainly watch this match. I mean, like I said, this card does have potential to be good, to very good, maybe even really good if everything works out well. There are certain matches that can deliver. But really, the only match I care for on the show is Sasha versus Charlotte, you know. And with that said, I just really hope that they get to use the cell as a weapon. I want to see one of them get rammed into the cell. I want to see someone get thrown into the cell. I want to see them go on the outside and like grade each other's spaces into the cell. I want to see if maybe Sasha climbs a portion of the cell and dives off it on a Charlotte or vice versa. Because if they just are inside the cell and they don't use it to their advantage, and it's just a traditional women's wrestling match, then the Hell in a Cell stipulation was pointless. And, you know, this match is worthy of not only Hell in a Cell, but of the main event. You know, WAPW, We Are Pro Wrestling put out a video where he talked about why he believes Sasha versus Charlotte should be the main event of Hell in a Cell. And I totally agree with everything he said, and I agree. I also believe Sasha versus Charlotte should be the main event of Hell in a Cell because you want the main event to be something special. And this is the most significant match on the card. Of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, because you also have Roman Reigns defending the United States Championship against Rusev, which really that match should just be no holds barred or last man standing or false count anywhere. But to be fair, if the build for that match was better and stronger and the rivalry was better, then I could see their match warranting a Hell in a Cell. I could make an argument. You could make an argument for that being inside Hell in a Cell. And then you have Kevin Owens defending the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. And that match really doesn't warrant Hell in a Cell also because they only had one match. And that's the whole stigma of this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It's just, hey, we have a pay-per-view. We got to have Hell in a Cell matches, so let's just throw everybody in. Let's just throw a bunch of people inside Hell in a Cell. So you got Owens and Rollins. I'm sure they can put on a really good to great Hell in a Cell match, but it just doesn't warrant it because they only had one match, which is at Clash of Champions. And, you know, it's not like Rollins' feud with Dean Ambrose where those guys were out there trying to kill each other. I mean, remember, Rollins curb stomped Ambrose's head on the cinder block the night after SummerSlam. And that pissed Ambrose off. And when he returned, he wanted blood and he wanted vengeance. And that's why their Hell in a Cell match was so fitting. You know, but Owens and Rollins, this doesn't, you know, call for blood or violence like of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? You know, destruction and whatnot. So if, you know, they gave away the potential main event for Hell in a Cell on Monday night. It was Owens versus Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins in a triple threat match. That should have been the match we're getting at Hell in a Cell. It didn't even have to be a Hell in a Cell match. Could have been a no disqualification match, you know, triple threat match. That would have been a better Universal Championship match than what we're going to get. And I'm not saying it's going to be a bad match. I believe it'll be a good to very good match. I hope it's better than their Clash of Champions match. But really, Sasha versus Charlotte is the one match that clamors Hell in a Cell. It's worthy of Hell in a Cell. And it should also be the main event. Because are you really going to close the show with Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens? I mean, unless Triple H gets involved and screws Seth Rollins again, I see no point in Owens versus Rollins closing the show. And I know WWE is so on Roman, what's the word? They're so high on Roman Reigns. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that freaking match ends up closing the show just because they want to make Roman strong. They want to make Roman the guy again. But really, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte is the one match that is deserving of Hell in a Cell. It's fitting of Hell in a Cell. And honestly, it should main event the show because that's what a main event should be. It should be a big fight, a big match with a lot on the line. And there is a lot on the line for both women. Think about it. This will probably be the last match they have against each other in quite some time. And they both have something to prove. Charlotte wants her championship back. Sasha wants redemption, even though she got it, so to speak, when she beat Charlotte for the championship. But this pay-per-view is inside, or this pay-per-view will emanate from Boston, Sasha's hometown. So you know the crowd's going to want to see their hometown heroine close the show. I guarantee you, if Sasha Banks versus Charlotte is in the middle of the card, or if WWE is really arrogant and stupid and puts it as the opener, that crowd will, I'm not going to say riot, but they will revolt. They will chant, "We want Sasha," throughout the night. They better save that match for the main event. So I've said it. Sasha versus Charlotte, their feud warrants Hell in a Cell. It warrants being in the main event. Give these women a chance to really do something groundbreaking. I mean, think about it. 1 year ago, Sasha was in the Main event of NXT TakeOver Respect with Bayley. They did a 30-minute Iron Woman match. A year later, Sasha's going to be inside Hell in a Cell with Charlotte, and it could be the main event once again. And it should be the main event. You know, you want your main events to be something special. This will be something special. That's the only match on this card that I'm most looking forward to. Every other match on this card has potential to be good to great, but like I said, because of lackluster build, uninspiring build, lazy build, and just, you know, lackluster, uninspiring, lazy editions of Raw, I'm just not excited for the show. Will I watch? Yes, mainly because of Sasha versus Charlotte. But as far as my other predictions, so let me give you my prediction for the main event first, and then I'll give you my predictions for the other card, the other matches on the card. As far as this match, Sasha versus Charlotte, I predict Sasha Banks will retain the championship. I see no reason to give Charlotte the belt back. I know why they did it at SummerSlam, because Sasha was injured and they were unsure how long she was going to be out. But I see no reason why Sasha should lose the championship inside Hell in a Cell. She should beat Charlotte in emphatic fashion, end this feud for now, move on to another rivalry with, I don't know, Nia Jax or Dana Brooke or Emelina, you know, or Alicia Fox. I don't know. But do not have Sasha and Charlotte touch again until maybe, I don't know, Money in the Bank or SummerSlam next year. But my prediction for this match is for Sasha Banks to walk into Hell in a Cell, women's champion, and walk out of Hell in a Cell, the women's champion. I predict her to beat Charlotte in some kind of emphatic fashion. I'd love to see maybe a table spot or a ladder spot. I want to see these ladies go out there and just really take Hell in a Cell to a new level. I want them to revolutionize women's wrestling again. I want them to do something groundbreaking. Don't put them inside Hell in a Cell and just have them wrestle and not use the cell at all. I want to see, hell, I'd like to see some blood in this match from either woman, you know. But as far as the prediction goes, I pick Sasha Banks to retain the NXT Women's Championship, the WWE, I know it's the Raw Women's Championship, but I predict Sasha Banks to retain her Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell. Now, as far as the other matches on this card go, on the kickoff, there's a six-man tag team match: Cedric Alexander, Sin Cara, and Lince Dorado versus Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Ariya Daivari. I'm picking Cedric, Sin Cara, and Lince to win the match. I really feel like they should keep building up Cedric Alexander to eventually establish him as Cruiserweight champion, #1 contender for the Cruiserweight championship. Because, like I said, I feel like the big money match is TJP versus Cedric Alexander at WrestleMania 33. So I'm going to pick Cedric's team to win that. Then on the main show, you have Bayley versus Dana Brooke. I pick Bayley to win because I see no reason why Dana Brooke should win. Dana Brooke beat Bayley on Raw a couple weeks ago. Bayley's beaten Dana Brooke before, so I don't know why you all of a sudden want to give Dana Brooke the win here, unless Emma or Emelina returns to help Dana beat Bayley. I pick Bayley to win. Otherwise, I mean, I could see Emma or Emelina returning, but other than that, I pick Bayley to win. Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. I feel like both teams could benefit from this win, but if I had to pick one, and I think about what the Lex Man said in his predictions video, I'd go with Enzo and Cass because they have more wins on their record than Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson do. You know, the Doctor's gimmicks, the old fart gimmicks really did not do well for Luke, have not really done well for Gallows and Anderson. They lost 2 straight to the New Day at Clash of Champions, and then the night after Clash of Champions. Yes, they brought Gallows and Anderson back to the Rough House, Take No Prisoners gimmick, which is good because they should just go in there and kick ass and take names. But I don't know if it's – I feel like it's a little too late, maybe a little too late. I mean, I love Gallows and Anderson. I want to see them do well, but maybe they should go to SmackDown, reunite with AJ Styles. I wasn't a fan of when the club split in the first place. So I'm going to pick Enzo and Big Cass to win this match. And eventually they should become WWE Tag Team Champions. Yeah, I'm going to pick Enzo and Cass to win that match. Cruiserweight Championship match, TJ Perkins defending against the Brian Kendrick. I could see Brian Kendrick winning this match based on his gimmick. You know, the whole, this is my last shot, I'm on my last leg. You know, I could see him winning the championship. I like the gimmick that he has. But like I said, again, I think building TJP up as champion and eventually setting the stage for him and Cedric to square off at WrestleMania 33 is the big money match for the Cruiserweight division. So I love TJP, but I could see Brian Kendrick winning. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm just going to go with the Brian Kendrick to win the Cruiserweight Championship. Tag Team Championships, the New Day defending against Cesaro and Sheamus. Cesaro and Sheamus, this is the pointless team. That freaking Best of 7 series was totally pointless because there was no winner. They just paired Cesaro and Sheamus up saying you're going to get a Tag Team Championship match. I don't see them winning this match. You know, I feel like Cesaro should have been contending for the Universal Championship in this on the show. New Day's going to retain. New Day's not losing those titles anytime soon, because you know they're going to break Demolition's record. I just want Cesaro and Sheamus to break up. I want Cesaro to beat Sheamus and just move on and hopefully finally get a shot at the Universal Championship. Because like I said, this team was pointless. Cesaro deserves better. That Best of 7 series was totally pointless. New Day's not going to lose if they're like days away from breaking the record of Demolition. So I'll pick a New Day to retain. United States Championship Hell in a Cell match. Roman Reigns defending against Rusev with the lovely Lana in his corner. Roman Reigns to retain, hands down. I don't see any reason why Rusev. I would love for Rusev, of course, to win the United States Championship back, because I felt like he did such a great job as champion and rebuilding himself. But he's not going to win. If he wins, I'll be really shocked, but that'd be freaking awesome if he did win. But I'm picking Roman Reigns to win, and I hope that after this, Rusev and Lana go to SmackDown where they can use him properly. Not saying he hasn't been used properly this year since winning the United States Championship, but you know Roman's going to beat him. I don't want Rusev to lose his momentum, so I'm picking. So I hope Rusev and Lana go to SmackDown where he can be built up for the Intercontinental Championship and eventually the WWE World Championship. But other than that, I'm picking Roman Reigns to retain the championship inside Hell in a Cell. Kevin Owens defending the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. Don't see Seth Rollins winning. I hope Triple H gets involved somehow because you really want to get that feud going. You know, when Triple H, I said this before, when Triple H cost Seth Rollins the Universal Championship and practically handed it to Kevin Owens, I thought they could have done big things there. Triple H endorsing Kevin Owens, but we haven't seen Triple H on TV since that night. I think that happened before the Cruiserweight Classic. So we did see Triple H after that, but he hasn't been on Raw or any of the pay-per-views since. So I know eventually they're building towards Seth Rollins versus Triple H. I would like to see Triple H get involved at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view and cost Rollins again. Because, yeah, I feel like you really want to keep – I feel like they could have done something big already. But if you're going to build toward Rollins and Triple H, you want to keep it going. You want to keep it fresh. So I do predict Kevin Owens will retain the championship inside Hell in a Cell, be it a screwy finish, interference from Triple H, or hell, maybe even a clean finish. And then, like I said, guys, the Women's Championship Hell in a Cell match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks. I'm predicting Sasha Banks will retain the championship. Like I said, I see no reason why Charlotte should retain the title. So that'll do it, guys, for my Hell in a Cell predictions video. Yes, as you can see, it was a very short, under 20-minute prediction video. But like I said, guys, I really don't have much else to say about any of the other matches. I feel like there are going to be some good matches like the Cruiserweight Championship match. The United States Championship Hell in a Cell match, if Roman and Rusev go out there and just beat the hell out of each other, it can be a really good to great match. Owens and Rollins, will see what they do. And like I said, I'm most invested in Sasha versus Charlotte in the first ever Women's Hell in a Cell match. So as always, thank you for watching and listening. Leave your comments down below. Tell me what your predictions are for Hell in a Cell this Sunday night on the WWE Network. What match are you most looking forward to? What match do you feel? Which Hell in a Cell match should close the show? And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to share this video with your friends. This is Robin Kenobi signing off. Everybody have a good day and enjoy your weekend. And I am off to NXT San Jose. Very excited. Cannot wait to see my favorites like Nakamura, Asuka, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and others. I also want to send get well wishes to Austin Aries. He suffered a very nasty injury last night at NXT Fresno. If you guys haven't seen the pictures, he has a very swollen left eye with a nasty cut underneath it. So I do want to send my best wishes to Austin Aries. And I'm going to end this video, guys, on this note. If Hell in a Cell does not deliver a good to very good show, even a good solid show on Sunday night, I'm done with Raw. I'm done with Raw pay-per-views. And I won't be tuning in to freaking Roadblock. I believe that's the pay-per-view. I'm done with Raw, and I'm done with Raw pay-per-views for the rest of the year. I will not tune into Raw until January when they start building up to the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania season. So if this show does not deliver at least a good, solid show for the most part. A much better pay-per-view than Clash of Champions. I'm done with Raw, and I'm done with Raw pay-per-views for the rest of the year. Quote me on that. It's Rock 1 Kenobi signing off. Everybody have a good day.